Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Thursday, the 3rd of July. So, tomorrow will be a very quiet one because of the US markets will be closed for the 4th. It will be as I say, be a quiet one there, Independence Day. So, I won't be doing a video tomorrow morning, just to let you know. If you're going to be sitting there waiting for a video to come out, there won't be one tomorrow morning. Right, let's get on and look at these markets then. And firstly, let's just start off with news today. We've got the non-farm payrolls coming out later. Let's just do it from here, it's clearer. Update this. So July the 3rd, there we go. Non-farm payrolls at 1:30. Now this is a biggie. It's a weird old thing how the non-farm payrolls have sort of been coming and going in terms of their use. For a long time they had no power at all, and then suddenly now everyone's expecting potential cuts. Any dodgy news on this? We saw the ADP data coming in much less than expected yesterday. Whether that actually happens in the real case of the non-farms themselves on the bigger count, we'll see. But anything that comes in particularly low on this could see the dollar sell off quite strongly. Now, this is based on Fed talk, and people are starting to expect a cut in rates in July now. So at the next meeting, and there's a lot of pressure for cuts in rates. Now some of that's priced in, so if the figures don't come out particularly low, and if they surprise to the upside, we could see the dollar sell quite quickly. Buy quite quickly even. I'll get it the right way around eventually. I'm expecting it to be more likely to sell, but as I say, some of that's priced in. I think the surprise the other way could have a bigger movement. Right, anyway, that's all we got there today. ISM services at 3 o'clock, sorry, there's that as well, but it'll be the non-farm payrolls that's the big mover. Right, let's look at these currencies first. The euro dollar, well, let's just go into a daily look there. So yesterday, even today at the moment, we're struggling to break back above that quarterly pivot at the moment. It's sitting into the R3. It's providing quite a bit of resistance. The longer it obviously does, I say obviously, but the longer it does, the more likely we have of getting some sort of decent breakout. But for now, it's holding there. Today could be the day the breakout comes, or we see a bigger correction. I had been looking at a correction and movement back to the monthly pivot there, but I've left the signal there. But it's a long way away from price now. It's gradually pushing up pushing up even. Yeah. In fact, I'm just sort of looking at this inverted head and shouldery pattern here, which we'll see how things develop there. It could be a risky morning in terms of trading before the non-farms, and it might, after the non-farms have come out, after a little while longer, we could see it quieten down quite a lot, running into Independence Day. Right, the pound. So the pound finding a bit of support there on the dailies on on its monthly pivot. It's sort of where it went, cut right away through it and bounced back into those levels, into its weekly as well. It's not looking at the finest of specimens at the moment. It wasn't helped by Prime Minister's question time, when the Chancellor was seen to be crying and very upset. Some of which we're told is personal, some is expected that has ever come. The Prime Minister just didn't stick up for her or whatever. Anyway, we'll see. But for now, looking rather iffy, the pound, and I'm just looking at it on today. Now, if we was to see a break of these lows here, for me that could be a trigger for a further short. So that's what I'm looking for at the moment. I'm not particularly looking on the longer side on the pound at this stage. Now, come the non-farms later, you might want to make a decision in terms of whether if you're in any trades, whether to close them beforehand, whether to stick with them and see where they go, or not be in any at all beforehand. Okay, the US dollar yen. There'll be a lot of money running to the side in terms of trading before the news. The dollar yen then yesterday really ends up a little up day. I was looking for a continuation to the downside. It's not really happening yesterday. It broke its trend there and carried on going too much. It did for a shoot down there about midday for a short while, but it's looking quite bitty. As I said yesterday, it's structurally changed for the higher low coming in. That's totally been confirmed at the moment. So we could see a continuation, but again, come 1 o'clock this afternoon, 1:30, whatever started one way could go completely the other way. Australian dollar, this is just flattening out a little bit where it is. Again, it's getting into consolidation phase effectively here. I don't really like it in terms of a trading tool at the moment, or trading asset. I'll leave that alone. US dollar CAD, this got a hell of a move eventually yesterday. It's, as you can see, daily's solid. It's coming back solid again. There it was there. That wasn't it. It was actually barely shows a 60-minute. I've got the 60-minute. It was there. Beg your pardon. It's later on, 4 o'clock that one went, but it was choppy as anything beforehand, but on the ADP. But solid movement to the downside thereafter. Again here, the potential of a move back to the pivot could be interesting. But with the news coming out this afternoon, I'd probably stand across again away from the US dollar CAD, or will do. Won't be any problems in there. New Zealand dollar. This looks like it had an opportunity yesterday. It's one of my highlighted pairings, and it moved. I mean, the structural change here, lower highs and whatever else, it moved further than I expected actually. I didn't manage to get into this one. It did perfectly sell off there. Mostly it's been sold at 7 o'clock. The actual targets, near-term targets and trend or whatever else didn't look wonderful. Bit of a miss really there. It went quite quickly at 8 as well. So anyway, today a bit more of a muddle at this stage. Don't really have anything kicking there. US dollar Swissy. This looks good for the downside at the moment, even this lower time frame. So the bigger time frame just still showing it selling off. I still think there's risk in this, but I read something yesterday that was denying the risk. But well, all could change come this afternoon. Again, could see quite some swings here. If the news this afternoon is quite flat, well, the markets may just chop into an ugly chop and then run flat. Okay, but at the moment this Swissy looks like it's got more. Well, the US dollar Swissy has got more downside. Now, for the Swissy itself looking strong. Euro yen. This is really not doing anything for me here at the moment. There was nothing on it yesterday. I saw it's just got into that horrible chop yesterday. It did have a couple of no, it didn't have a couple. It had a setup, but it never triggered. Anyway, it's run out. It's gone ugly on the lower time frames, in particularly Euro pound. This was a weird old one. Just looking at 4 hourly wise, that shot up there as the pound initially dumped, and the euro literally absolutely took advantage of that. Yesterday I was waiting for a move to the upside. The option on the upside was quite low yesterday. When it actually went, I was only looking as far as the R1, so there wasn't by the time things started moving, it was quite like a scalpy type of trade, and didn't really make sense. But as it happened, the news drove it the way it went. Aside of that, I don't really have too much else. EuroCAD I was looking for yesterday, but it broke down. I was looking at this quite interestingly to see if we got a break back up and a continuation to the upside. It's gone ugly at the moment. I was looking at pound CAD as well. This did actually trigger the. This was from a move, and it actually did take the lows out, but that came in later. It's the 10 o'clock bar, but it was after 12 o'clock. It just absolutely dived. I was looking to see if we got a move. Actually, no, I was looking on the downside on this, but anyway, I personally missed this one. But you see what's happened. Sorry, I'm just remembering it was double top. I was looking for something that would come off there. We had a projection on this one down to this sort of level, but anyway. There are movements, but they're sitting in the afternoons at the moment, not in the mornings. We've seen that for some time now. Gold. So gold hanging on to the uncertainty really out there. Different sort of uncertainty at the moment. It's made the structural change back to more positive here, higher low coming through. It's also got a divergence, I would imagine, on some time frames around this movement, so rather an iffy trade. It took off eventually yesterday. What time was that? It was sort of really after, late morning time. It got going a little bit, but quite ugly. But it did break its trend eventually. Anyway, not looking pretty, but looks like it's got upside potential. Oil, not really been trading this, as I said. I've just find it difficult to really get a feel for it. You look at it on a 4-hourly basis, it's a pig's ear really. I mean, the owl is making it look so much better than it was, but I can't get much of a read on this. The potential at the moment would be for the upside. Looking at what's actually happening here with the sort of higher lows coming in, technically it's got some potential for a continuation, but it's just too risky at this stage. US dollars 500, so the S&Ps continue to make new highs, and it looks like they're off to make new highs at the moment, so it's a case of not getting in the way of this. Now if the the non-farm payrolls were to come out particularly good, we could see this take a very quick downward movement, but how long it remains in that downward side of things is probably not very long. The strength of this market, the upside is too good. Other markets, the FTSE, it's sluggish. It's gone sluggish. Real chop that's developing here. You can't. It is going from top to bottom. There is a range in here, side channel, but quite ugly looking. And finally, the DAX. Looking at this yesterday, it looked good on the short side. It broke on the short side there, and continued, but there we go. There we go. It took a long time. I was hoping it was going to come off earlier on. Now it actually had broken that by the time we were looking at it, wasn't it? I was looking for a continuation to the downside here. Did eventually go, but only as far as the double bottoms here. But then recovered as everything else did as we went through the afternoon there. Quite ugly where it is now. It's put a higher low in, is it, or double bottom? It's triggered the double bottom aspect of this, so there's the potential it could go for the range of this movement to here from the break upwards. So not looking great. Right. Okay. I'm going to leave it there for now. And as I say, there's a great deal of risk there for this afternoon with the non-farm payrolls coming out. Then tomorrow, I won't be doing a morning outlook on the basis of it being Independence Day, and I just think with the best markets movements coming in the afternoon, there's not a lot of point in trying to do too much. So I wish you a good day's trading. Take care. Have a good, safe one. Bye for now.